Good evening and welcome to tonight's webinar. I am your host, McKinley, and I'm so happy you're here tonight. So, this webinar is brought to you by the good folks at Grow with Google and presented by the U.S. Black Chambers. Now, tonight we're talking about something very, very, very important. We're talking about how to make the most out of your website. And this is especially important now during holiday season. Why? Because you're getting a lot of people coming to your website. And I know everybody loves social media. Social media is great. But at the end of the day, your website is key. Your website is that home where everybody comes. So by the end of tonight's webinar, you're going to understand what goes into not only having a website, but having a website that's effective for your company and that draws in customers. So if that sounds good, let's get ready to get started. Once again, tonight's webinar is brought to you by Grow with Google, and we're talking about how to make your website work for you. Once again, it's not enough to have a website. You want to turn a website into an engine that is driving referrals and driving sales for your business. So, as always, I like to get started. I love having interaction. So, if you're ready to get started, type in hashtag home. If you're ready to get started, type in hashtag home. And when you do that, I'll tell you why I say home. So once again, if you're ready to get started, type in hashtag home and we'll get started. Okay. Tyra says home. Great. Anyone else? Thank you for saying home. Anyone else? If you're ready to get started, type in hashtag home. Tyler says home. Appreciate it. I love it. Checking in from Facebook. Always love my Facebook audience. Appreciate that. Once again, I want to say too, also, this webinar is all about you. Michelle says home. Appreciate that. Thank you. But this webinar is all about you. It's not about me. It's about answering your questions, about your comments, and about you learning. So at any time tonight during the webinar, if you have any questions or comments, simply type those below. And like I just did, I will show your comment on the screen and also I'll answer your questions. So once again, any question or comment you have, please type that. Why? Because I want this to be interactive, a back and forth conversation. Sounds good? All right, let's go. All right, back to the presentation. Here we go. So here's why I said home. Once again, home is so important because online, the only place you control is your website. Facebook can change the policies tomorrow. Twitter, as we know, can change their policies. LinkedIn, everything. But the one thing you own online is your website. So if you have a large social media following, that's great. You still need to have a website because that's where it's all going to start. That's where your customers come to learn more about you. So in many ways, your social media accounts, they act as feeders and they drive traffic to your website. That's why it's so important to have a website for your business. So I got a stat here, and it says more than 70% of people surveyed say that their shopping online involved an online touch point. 70%. So once again, having a digital presence is matters. It matters. So even if they're coming in store, buying online, they're going back to your website to learn more about your products and services. So once again, that's why you have to have a website. So I know this sounds basic, but let's talk about what is a website and what are some elements of a good website. So the first, see on the screen, is graphics. Those are the images of your pictures. Those are your logos. That's your headshot. The visuals. And visuals are so important when it comes to your website. Why? Because people are pulling my visuals. We are visual beings. So the more you can show me about your business, it pulls me in. So it's the power of words. And you've heard that saying before, that a picture tells 1,000 words. And it's true. A picture can tell so much about your business. So first part of having a website is good graphics. Next part is the color scheme. So the color scheme should be the color scheme of your business. That can be red and black. It can be blue and red, whatever it is. But the color should be consistent. Why? Because it sets this tone for your company and tells your customer who you are. So having a color scheme is important. And not only that, but having a color scheme that is What's the word? Easy on the eyes. You don't want to have green and orange as the color scheme. Maybe that's your logo color, but try to keep it consistent. So whatever your logo color is, have those same images, those same colors on your website. The next part is the font. And the font on your website is very important because at the end of the day, pictures are great, videos are great, but people are coming to your website for what? For information. So if they can't read your address, if they can't see your products, if they can't see your email address, what's the matter? What's the point? So having font. You don't want any crazy fonts. You want to have a font that's like Arial, something basic. It should be at least maybe 11 to 12 point, not too small, but not too big. Very important to have a website that's easy to read because at the end of the day, people are coming to your site to find out information. If they can't read it, they're going to leave. Next thing is the layout. This is very important. So, have you ever been to a website to where everything is just everywhere? No, things should be laid out in a way that makes sense. Up top should be the header with the links. Interior pages should be pictures and content. The bottom should have a header as well. But make your website logical. Lay it out in a way that makes sense for your customers. And a way to do that is design your website after other websites. If you go online and see a good websites are always organized and have a nice clean layout. So what that all means is don't make your potential customer search. When I come to your website within 3 seconds, I should be able to figure out who you are, what you do, and how can I contact you. The next thing I'll talk about is the content. And that kind of goes hand in hand with the font, but having good informative content. Once again, people are coming to sites for what? For information. So having content on your site, having an about us page that tells your visitor about you, having content about your products and services, all that stuff is key. So once again, if you get them on your website, have good content and have content that's going to pull them in. Oof, I did a lot of talking right there. I need a sip of water. All right, let's move on to the next slide. So, tonight's agenda. Now, this looks like a lot, but trust me, it's not. So, we're going to talk about tonight, once again, the basics of what makes a good website. The first thing we're talking about, a website that's goal oriented. Next, a website that's search friendly, a website that's convenient to visit, a website that's organized, and a website that's trustworthy. Now, I just gave you the keys right here. Let me have a hand clap for myself. So, this is it. If your website is goal oriented, search friendly, convenient, organized, and trustworthy, guess what? Your website's going to work. Your website is going to bring more potential leads and customers to your business. So once again, a great website is goal oriented. And what does that mean? So the goal of your website is ultimately to make money, but that goal can be to drive sales. It could be drive phone calls, drive store visits, schedule consultations, schedule a product demo. Your website can have so many goals, but if you don't have a goal, you can't measure how your site is doing. Is that saying you say if you don't have something, if you don't know how to measure it, you don't have anything. So having a goal, having a reason why you have your website, and what you can do is all your pictures, all your video, all your content can speak and can lead towards that goal. So that's why it's so important to have a goal for your website. So let's talk about why do you want a website. One, because these are some of the goals. Once again, a website can build your brand. It can generate leads. It can make sales. It can re-engage customers, attract employees, and provide support. So once again, these are the goals your website can do. Once again, build your brand, generate leads, make sales, re-engage customers, attract employees, and provide support. So let's talk about your audience. And once again, your goal should match your audience. So let's talk about your audience. Who is coming to your website? And you want to understand three things about your audience. You want to understand how they act, how they think, and how they live. Very important things. And the great part is your customers online and offline are probably the same. So if you already have an idea of who your customer is, that's great. Take that same profile you have and put it online. So helpful things are define your audience very narrowly. And what I mean by that is, we have a tendency in business and life to target everybody. And when you target everybody, you get nobody. So if you say, I want to attract women, that's huge. But let's say you want to attract women that are between 18 and 35 that work out, work full time, and do yoga. That's very detailed. And that's so great because that is going to give you more leads. And it's kind of counterproductive. You think if you target everybody, you get everything. No, being narrow is going to give you more leads. So if you go to Google and you do a search, let's show you one live here. So if I was to go to Google right now and do a search, let's say for I'm not sure. Let's say food. Right now, food is very general. So many things could be under food. So you get restaurants, you got a lot of results. Look at that. I think it's 11 that million results. A lot of results for food. You got recipes, you got locations, you got stores, everything. Now let's get a little more detail. Let's type in soul food and what comes up. Okay, see that? A lot less, almost half as many results come up. And that's what I mean by having a niche, by having a target, you're going to get more of those leads. Yes, I'm also glad you joined. Thanks for being here. Once again, Facebook family is showing up strong tonight. Once again, any questions and comments, feel free to add those. Simply just drop those in the comment box below, and I'll be sure to answer your question. So moving on back to the slides. Next, you want to try to see the world like them. And this is very important. So think about the things that are important to them. That's simple but very key. What do your customers want? Try to get inside there in their mindset. What are the things they want to see? And then show them that things on your website. Okay, next thing that I like to do is set up SMART goals for your website. And what does that mean? That means goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So an example of that is, let's say you want to increase website visits by 20% over the next 2 months. That's measurable, that's attainable, and there's a time to that. Another one is, say, I want to add 100 email subscribers in the next 6 months. Once again, a very targeted goal. And once again, if you don't have that SMART goal, you can't understand what you want to do. So right now, let's say this. In the next 3 months, I want to generate 10% more leads from our website. That's something you can measure. So that's what I mean by having a goal for your website and being very detailed in that. Don't say, "Oh, I want more customers." Well, we all want more customers. It's like saying I want to lose weight. We all want to lose weight. Say I want to lose 1 pound every week for the next 6 months. That's a goal. That's attainable. That's time bound that you can really track. So next thing is, how do you measure success? A few ways. You can track online sales. You can collect submission forms. People fill out forms on your website. You can monitor phone calls, or you can monitor engagement. So what do you want to do? Once again, think about what do you want your website to accomplish? And your goal may be different from mine. Maybe you want phone calls. Fine, that's your thing. Maybe you want emails. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you want different downloads of a PDF. Or maybe you want to book more consultation. Figure out what you're trying to measure, and that's how you can grow your website. So I'm talking a lot. This webinar, is it helpful? If you find this awesome, informative, give me a 5. Type number 5 in the comments. If you find this, so, once again, give me a 0 in the comments. I will warn you, I never get zeros. I never get 1s or 2s or 3s. I get 4s or 5s. But once again, let me know how I'm doing. If you like what I'm doing, give me 5 or 4. Okay, Tyler says 5. Tyler, appreciate that. Let's give you a hand clap, Tyler. Thank you for that. Let's see who else we have here. 5. Thank you. Appreciate that. I love the 5s. Another question says, thank you for this timely live as I'm currently ramping Mo's HR consulting firm on Google. Yeah, not a problem. I'll be having a minute. I'll stop and do a live review of your website. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. And one more, 5, as I am redesigning my thought process of my website. Yeah, this is great. And I would say it too, your website is never done. People think you do a website, you put it up, you walk away. No, your website is something that you're constantly adding to. You're constantly updating with pictures or products or services. So a good website is always incomplete. It's not done. Why? Because you're always adding to it. So let's do a live demo real quick. Let's look up this site. Give me 1 second. Demos, HR consulting firm. I think I found this website. Let me know if this is the right website. I think it is right here. Um, I think I have the right site here. So even if it's not, I'm gonna give you a quick review of the website. So this is our website, and this website, it's a good start. It has the basics. We come here, so you see the logo, you see the phone number at the top. You can make an appointment, get directions, all the basic things. On the site is probably good on a mobile site. But I will say, when you come to the site initially, when you see it, I don't know what you do really. Well, I say business management in LA. That's good. Maybe have that a little bit bigger because I really don't know what you do. Also, there's a lot of white space. White space is good, but this is too much. So there needs to be more text, more pictures here, a little bit more because it's really kind of plain. Um, this image here says we're here to help make things happen for other people. Okay, updates. All right, I have a nice blog post here, but once again, um, this may be your color scheme, but it seems a little plain. So I will work on that. Your color scheme seems a little off. So to go back to what I said earlier in the webinar about layout. Layout could be improved. Color scheme could be improved. Pictures and content could be improved. But I think you have all the basics. I'm not sure what software you're using for your website. This Google site, but I would invest in a nicer website theme because I think this website kind of sells your company short. You have testimonials, that's good. Have a gallery here, that's good as well. So if I rate this out of 5, I would give it maybe 2, 2.5, 3 maybe. Once again, it has information. I just think it needs to have a better layout. So I would find a better template that really has a little better layout to it. Quickly, I see you have 11 reviews on Google. That's good. But remember, the more reviews, the better. So try to get more reviews. That's going to be good for your company. But all in all, good website. But you definitely need a new template, something that's a little more engaging and pulls people in. All right, back to the webinar. So the next thing is a great website is search friendly. And this is so huge because most of your website traffic is going to come from Google, not Yahoo, not Bing, but from Google. So if your customers cannot find your website when they go to Google and do a search for your company, that's a problem. So we're going to talk about how to make sure your website comes up in those Google searches. So year over year, Google searches increase 100% for now near me. So people do not go to Google to do research. They do sometimes, but they're going because they want something now. That's why it's so important to something to search. So when I want a lawyer, I want one now. When I want a doctor or whoever it is, a tailor, I want one now. So once again, that's why it's so important to come up in that Google search, and that can be a few things. Once again, like I said, how to show you, not only in a website but coming up on Google My Business is very key because why your people want to see that they don't want to search. So coming up high on Google is very important, and you want to come up too in the map listings, Google My Business as well. Because once again, the more visibility, the better, and that's really the whole point of online marketing is increasing your visibility. So coming up high on Google is a way to do that. So let's break down how search works. You probably know this, but I'll show you real quick. So up at the top here, you have the search query. That's where you type in what you want: fast food, lawyer, doctor, so on. Under that, you have text ads. These are ads people pay for to have place. Under that, you have organic ads. And organic ads are free ads where Google just goes through and Google finds websites and shows them that match what the search query was. And then on the side, like I just showed you, that's the Google business profile. So that's the kind of basics of a search. And once again, these are all the places where your business can show up. And once again, more visibility equals more leads, more sales for your business. So what is some of the characteristics of a search from the website? So first, it's fast loading. That is so key. You don't want a website that is slow. Google penalizes the websites that load slow. And by penalizing, I mean they won't show your site at all or much if it loads slow. And also your customers. Your customers are very, very, very impatient. You have at tops 3 seconds for your site to load. Then if not, the person's gone. They're hitting the button back to Google to find a company website that loads faster. People are not going to spend time on your website for it to load. I'm not going to do that. Next thing is you want to have useful content. So somebody comes to your website, inform them. Have good content on your website that explains what you do and how you can solve their problem. Next thing is links. So it should link out to different articles or websites that make sense for your website. So those are the things that are going to make your site show up higher in the search. Once again, I'm doing a lot of talking, and questions and comments, just drop those in the chat box below, and I'll be sure to answer your questions. Comment here says, thanks, Sterling, for the review. I was actually using a Google My Business website. Yeah, and I applaud you for that, for having a website. That's the first step. But if you have the resources, I would definitely look to upgrade to a website that looked a little nicer because that matters. So yeah, you're headed in the right direction, which is great. But definitely, we have the time, the resources, definitely update to a nicer website. So some more traits of a good website. So the next one is it has good page titles, and good descriptions. So let me show you that real quick. If you go back here to this website here. So this is the title where it says HR consulting firm business management. That's the title. And it's so important to have a title on your website because Google, this is the carrot that pulls me in. So if you have a title that just says your business name, I'm not going to click on it. Say your business name and what you do. And also right below this, you see the description. This tells the person what your website is talking about. So before they come to it, have a description that captures what you do, what you're talking about. And the point of that is get the person to come to the website. So this says we're a business management HR consulting firm that serves job seekers, career changers, business around the world. Great. That's a good description. That's going to pull me in. So you want to have a good description and also a good title for your website. Is it good to have sections on your website? Not sure what you mean, but sections are good because you want to just make sure that your website is organized properly. So expand some more on what you mean by sections. But how I take it, you want to have your website, you want to have it laid out right. So you want to have ways to break up content. Next thing I talked about, information architecture. Once again, it's the way your website is built, laid out. You want to have it logical. You want to have a home page. You want to have an about us page. You want to have a services page, a contact page. Those are the basic things your website needs. Next, make sure your website looks good on all browsers, on all devices. That's the best thing. So what I recommend sometime is going on your computer, pulling it up to how it looks, going on your phone, going on your iPad, typing in your name. And when you do this, pretend that you're your customer. And if the website loads slow, is a bad experience, you need to change that. Why? Because your customer is getting the same experience. Question here says, like I'm in travel, so trips are planned, pre-planned, current trips. You can repeat on the basic. Oh yeah, okay, I got you. Sections. Yeah, definitely. Because it's all about making it easier to navigate your website. So if I'm interested in pre-planned trips, that's different. Then curated trips are different. So yeah, have a section for I can't talk tonight. Pre-planned trips and curated trips. Why? Because it's different mindset. So things that speak to one person won't be to the next. So yes, split up those into separate sections. Thanks for clarifying that. The next thing I'm talking about is your website responsive. And you hear this a lot, but responsive means is if you go on a desktop and on the mobile phone, is your site viewable? The best way to do this is to simply go to your phone, go type in your web address, and see how it looks. If you have to pinch and zoom and scroll to find stuff, then it's not responsive. But on average, pretty much half of your traffic comes from mobile websites, mobile phones. So you want to have a site that's responsive. And most of the times, if you have a service like GoDaddy or Google or Yahoo, any one of these services, these builders, the websites are automatically responsive. But still, go on your phone, type in your web address, and make sure your site looks good. Because if it doesn't look good, I guarantee you're losing customers that come to your website, getting turned off, and then going away. Okay, next break. Once again, how am I doing? If you're enjoying this, type 5. If you're not enjoying this, type 0. So we have about a half hour left, but once again, let me know how I'm doing, and that would be awesome. Once again, if you join this, type in 5. It's also just type in 0. I see a few fives in there coming up. Appreciate that. Tyler again, 5, 5. Appreciate that. Always like to see good comments. Also, if you have a website and you want me to do a live audit, simply type your website in the box below, and I'll pull up your website like I just did and do a live audit, give you some tips on what you can do to make your website even better. All right, so next one is a website is convenient. And once again, what does that mean? That means your website is, like I just said, it's convenient. They don't have the pinch, they don't have the zoom, it's responsive, it's convenient. That your website, they can make payments on your website, they can buy things. Your website, you have a way to have virtual consultation with customers, delivery options, cursor options. So at the end of the day, it's all about making it easy for your customer to do business with you. That's it. If I have to think too much, I'm gone. So once again, a website that is done well professionally is easy, it's convenient. So once again, go to your website, send an email as a test. If you gotta wait days to get a response, that's not convenient. If you have a number on your website and they call you, excuse me, if they call you on your number and you don't pick up, you don't return that call, it's not convenient. On social media, somebody sends you DM, you don't respond, it's not convenient. If the website loads slow, it's not convenient. So once again, ease of use is the key. Sometimes you don't even have to be the best, but if it's easy for your customer to do business with you, you're gonna win. Okay, question here says, I'm republishing it at the end of the week. Can you review it next week? There are things I want to address for you review. Sure. Yeah, just tune in next week. We'll be back here on next Thursday, actually. So feel free to share your website then. I have a question here. It says, when using Google My Business, it's focused in the main category location, i.e., business management consultant in Los Angeles. I'm not sure what you're asking. I know you can have several categories and several locations, so look at that. I know you can have a service radius, so you can say we support business or households or whatever within 30-mile radius or address. So be sure to look at that as well. And even if it gives categories, I know you can have it up to like I think 4 or 5 different categories. So I would suggest doing that. Let me know if I answer your question correctly. All right. So once again, responsive. Your site, for our site, it takes shape of your website and it looks good. So the text looks right, the pictures look right, the graphics and everything. Having a site that is responsive is key. Also, making payments simple. Once again, we're in the digital age here, so accepting PayPal, accepting Google Pay, Amazon Pay, all those things are important on your website. You want to be able to make it easy for your customers. So if they have to send you money for a product or service consultation, give them an easy way to pay online to get money to you. So there's actually a site that you can all can go to. I'm going to show you real quick, where you can test your website and find out if it's convenient and loads fast. So give me 1 second. It's g.co/test my site. Okay, let's show you this. Here it is. So this is where you can optimize your website. So you simply just go in here and click got it. see it. Hold on one second. Let's try this again. Say test my website. Here we go. Here's your website. So let's just put in let's put in yahoo.com. Something simple. You put in your web address here. You click test URL, and what's going to do is go through and test your website and tell you how it performs. You definitely want to do this because you definitely want to make sure your site is mobile friendly. Because if not, you're definitely losing customers to your website. So while this is running, any questions or comments, they'll be great. Oh, okay, it's done. So this site is mobile ready. That's great. It was last crawled on today. Okay, so that quick, it's mobile friendly. So when we get a chance, simply type in test my site or mobile friendly tester in Google. Put in your domain and see how your website meshes up. So there's three things to ask yourself. One, is your site fast? Every second matters. Once again, when you go to that tester, it's going to test how fast your website loads. You want your site to load with under 3 seconds. Next, your site, is it personalized? And by that, I mean, does it speak to your customer? Think about who is your target customer or customers, and make sure that your language, your color scheme, your video, pictures, everything speak directly to that person. So I give an example once again. If you're a restaurant and you're selling hot dogs and hamburgers, your page for hot dogs should talk just about hot dogs. Your page for hamburgers talk just about hamburgers because it's talking to them. So make sure your site is talking to the correct people. Next thing, think about your site. Is it a good experience? Can I easily find the contact form? Can I easily find an email? Can I easily find an address or directions? Once again, think about, is it a good experience? And you know this stuff because you yourself, your customer. You know how it is when you go to the website and it's just hard to use. Things are hard to find. It loads slow. It's not speaking to you. Think about that, and make sure your website meets all of that criteria. I have a question here. It says, when I created the site in April 2020, Google My Business allowed you to have one main category and location on the site. If things have changed, I will definitely add my business category in LA so that prospects will understand who I am, what I do. Yeah, I would do that. Log back in and you can update the location and category as well. So definitely log in to Google My Business and make sure you do that. Moving on to the next thing, a great website is organized. Once again, organization is key. If I come to a website and it's all jumbled, I can't find stuff, I'm leaving. So having a site to organize is key. So this is what I mean. This is kind of a plan. So we call this information architecture. So you see the top here. It says Trader Street Jams homepage. So first, have your own page. Then you have your team page, or your about us page, your shopping page, and your contact page. And under that, you can have products and services. But at the bare minimum, you want a home page. You want a services page. You want an about us page and a contact page. So the bare minimum, have those 4 or 5 pages. But once again, you want to make sure that your site, that it makes sense. Think about how things are going to flow. That's very important. Okay, moving on to our next topic. A great website is trustworthy, and this is so key. I can't say this enough, but online trust is huge because online I can't see you. I can't hear you. All I have is words on the screen. So building trust is key, and I believe the more trust you build, the chance of making sell it goes through the roof. So when I come to your site and I see a picture, check. I see good content, check. I see home address, check. I see a phone number, I see email. All these things, they build trust, they build confidence. And once I trust you, that who you are, then I can come to your site. Then I'm going to ask you questions about your business and hopefully make a purchase. So online trust is huge. And at the end of the day, your website is the first impression. And just like in life, you only have one chance to make a good first impression. So your website, many times today, is that first impression. In this new digital age, your website is that first impression. So ask yourself, when somebody comes to your website, is it a good impression? Because if not, they're going to leave the website. And that first impression they get, that's the one that's going to stick with them. So you want to make sure that your website is giving off a good impression, because guess what? People are going to value you based on your website. It's crazy. You can be the best business in the world, the best bakery in the world, the best clothes in the world. But guess what? If you have a crappy website, I'm going to think, you know what? You are a crappy business. That you don't care. So people are equating the quality of your website, the quality of your pictures, your videos, to the quality of your business. So looks do matter. You want to make sure that you're giving off a good first impression. So, what are some ways you can build trust? First, business reviews. We just looked at a page on Google My Business, but the more reviews you have from your customers, the better. Also, with reviews on Google or any site, be sure to reply to every single review, good or bad. Thank the customer for their comment, and if there's a problem, solve their problem. Nothing is worse than going to somebody's page, somebody's profile, and seeing negative comments that are not addressed. Don't run from negative comments. Address them. Fix the problem. Because if not, customers are going to come to your site, see those negative reviews, and be turned off. So you want to make sure that you're giving your customers a good sense of who you are. So be responsible and reply to every review. Next, showing ratings. You know, on Google My Plus, you have that Google Business, you have that star icon. That's key. So, not only possible, you want to have 4 or 5 stars, because that little star, it means something. And once again, the more positive reviews I see about your business, the better. Next, something that builds trust is having contact information. So, easily listing your website. Sorry, easily listing your phone number. Have your phone number. Have your physical business address if you have one. Having your hours of operation are so key. Once again, your phone number, your address are key. It sounds simple, but the more information you provide, the better. So make sure you're giving them that information, because in your customer's mind, if I can call them, if I know where their office is at, oh, I know where their office is at, I can trust you more. Okay, so we're at the end of tonight's webinar. We got about 10 minutes left. So once again, this is the time if you want to do list your website in the comments. Anyone else, I'll do a live audit of your website. Also, if you have any questions about how to build a better website, this is the time to add those. So got a little bit of time left. Once again, any questions or comments, feel free just to type those below, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. Okay, now I'm going to give you some resources to learn more information about what I said. So Let's review. What are the elements of a great website that's going to work for you? The first one, it is goal oriented. And what does that mean? Once again, having a goal, saying I want to increase phone calls by 10% in third quarter. I want to increase sales by 5% on the next 3 weeks. Having a goal is so key. Once again, if you don't have a goal, you can't measure your progress. So make sure you have a goal for your website. The next one is having a site that is search friendly. Once again, half your traffic is going to come from Google. So make sure that your site is showing up high within Google by having page titles, by having descriptions, by making sure your site is everywhere. Having a site, having a profile on Google My Business is key. Being on Google Map listings, showing up and getting rankings. What you want to do is you want to dominate the homepage of Google. Dominate that. So no matter who's coming in, when they type in your name, when they type in who you are, they're saying that. Next, you want a site that's convenient. And by that, I mean you have a site that loads fast. Have a site that has good information, it has good pictures, it's convenient. Once again, the key to business sometimes is ease of use. Make it easy for somebody to do business with you. Make it easy for somebody to come to your website. Next, your website is organized. So once again, that homepage, that about us page, that service page, make sure your website is laid out in a way that's logical and that makes sense. Customers are trained on how to navigate websites. If your website is all over the place, confusing, you're going to lose customers. And last but not least is having a site that is trustworthy. Online is all about trust. And you can build trust by looking the part. So having a nice looking website, a site that loads fast, having good information, having your picture on your website. One of the key things when I come to your about us page, I see a picture of you smiling. Have a picture of yourself on your website. If you can, have a video of yourself on your website. Customer reviews, testimonials, all those things, they build trustworthiness. You got it. You got it, Michelle. If you're not trustworthy, nobody's going to come to you. I've got to trust you before I come to your business. So once again, making sure you're trustworthy is really, really key. Because when it comes to being online, it really is a battle of trust. I have a question here a comment from Tyler. Tyler says, for a mobile version of your website, how important is imagery? I noticed that it can be hard to structure columns when pictures are involved. Should it be limited to a header, style images, and the rest of the information? Yeah, Tyler, good information. So, good question. So, when it comes to your mobile site, yes, there's going to be less pictures, but still you can have your brand color scheme. So, if you have headers, you can make those a color. If you have different bars or columns, break up the text as well. But on your phone, it really is about ease of use. It's about information, about direction. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But it can be a blend. But once again, if you're going to have imagery, make sure it's images that are optimized, that don't slow down your website. I use a site called Tiny PNG, and you can go to that site, you can upload a PNG, and it will compress the image to a smaller size. So let's do one here. Let's find the PNG. Give me 1 second. All right. Yeah, I want to hear this PNG I have is 210 kilobytes. Let's open it. Let's compress it. And wow, it compressed it 75%. So now that file is 51 kilobytes. So yeah, you can have images, you can have all the stuff in there, but still make sure that your site is loading fast. So any image of your website on mobile version or mobile version or desktop, make sure that your images are compressed. But at the end of the day, it is all about content. Because when I'm on my phone, in my car, walking through the mall, Pictures are great, but I want to say, hey, these are your hours. Hey, here are the directions. Hey, these are your services. So once again, yeah, do want to focus on that. It's a good balance, but make sure the website still loads fast. But great question, Tyler. Before I wrap up, any more questions or comments? If so, just type those in the box below, and I will answer your questions. Yeah, yeah. Tiny PNG is a great tool, to make your file sizes smaller. So be sure to check it out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping up. So, if you want to learn more about making your website faster or about anything online dealing with digital skill sets, the place to go is Grow with Google's page on YouTube. That page every week is updated with new videos and information about how to use Google services and digital skills. I would really recommend going there because it's a great channel. They have really simple, informative videos that are going to help you learn more about how to improve your business. Next, if you are looking for more training, videos, PDFs, everything, visit google.com/grow. Once again, google.com/grow, and you can find more information about everything I talked about, more training, more tips and services. Next, if you are trying to find more upcoming events, more training, more seminars from anything from digital skill sets to financing to capital, anything, the place to go is visit the usblackchambers.org. Once again, usblackchambers.org. Also, this webinar is on demand and available to watch. So it's in a few places. One, right now, we're streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So if you missed anything I said, if you came in too late, I spoke too fast, simply when I'm done, go back, fast forward, watch the video again, or watch previous videos to learn more about digital skill sets and digital services. Once again, on YouTube, Facebook, and also LinkedIn. So once again, my name is Sterling McKinley. Thank you for joining me tonight on tonight's webinar. Thursday, Thanksgiving. So have a happy Thanksgiving. And once again, we'll be back here again on next Thursday at 5 p.m. Once again, talking about how you can use digital skills to what? To make more money for your business, to be more competitive, and to increase more sales. Good night. And once again, happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.